Hello everyone, this is Old School from whatthebuck.net. I have heard the outcry about the crappy webcam and I've switched back to my HD cam. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's a better end product, so we'll do this from now on. Thanks for listening and thanks for paying attention to the videos. This is Camp Day 3. For the first time in the 5 years of running What the Buck, I have actually been credentialed, so I got a chance to go behind the veil a little bit. So special thanks to the Buccaneers for allowing me that access. I'm not sure how long I'll have it for, but I'll certainly take advantage of it when I do. And today was not an exception. We had an interesting set of weather. We weren't sure if practice was going to happen, but it did. I went over and spent some time watching the bigs, watching the defensive line, watching Coach Millard, which was a ton of fun for me, pardon any of the puns that may be obvious there, watching him teach these guys. And it reminded me back when Coach Raheem Morris was a defensive backs coach and I went to training camp in Disney. The coaches that they've assembled on this staff are educators, and they were working with the big guys for foot position, hand position, feints, technique. It was tremendous, and watching the young guys respond and take action on the back end of that instruction was tremendous as well. Guys that kind of stood out today, Kyle Moore, guys. I know Kyle Moore's been the forgotten man, but he looks very fast, and he looks like a guy who's playing to remind people that he was a pretty good draft pick, and he's fighting for a position on this team. Daquan Bowers continues to impress. Brian Price, early in drills, was a little bit slow. I've said before, he's very fast in actual 11-on-11s. Today he got kind of rolled up on and went off limping. I don't know that it was related to anything to his previous injuries. I think it was just he got kind of chunked up a little bit in practice. Other guys are kind of popping. Roy Miller looks good in there when they were doing the sled drills. The guys were all pumping pretty hard, and Claiborne as well. They're all kind of putting good work. McGee as well, putting a lot of good work on the defensive line. I didn't focus much on the offensive line today, so I won't have a whole lot of detail. And I know I said I was going to try and watch Ahmad Black, but I didn't get a chance to. When I was watching the full team drills, the offense was easier for me to see based on where I was at today. So most of the feedback today goes towards the concept of a gunslinger. Josh Freeman is amazingly confident. Now, one of the things that will be interesting is when we switch from non-padded practice to padded practice, and I alluded to this in the last video, these plays that are getting the oohs and ahs from the crowd, it's going to be interesting to see how those turn around, because some of these catches, and Kellen Winslow's making some ridiculous catches, so is Desmond Briscoe, so is Mike Williams. These guys are making some sick catches. But in a live fire condition, a lot of these guys would absolutely get depleted if they were to make those catches. And I think that the coaching staff, when they go back and look at the tape, will say, okay, Josh, that's great that you can make the throw, and it's terrific that you can make the catch, but in a real game, this is one of those things where you might want to take the next guy in the progression before you get one of our guys killed. And it does speak to the defense, too, because the defense is getting it looks like they're getting kind of jobbed out there when in some cases the guys are in position. Now, in the 11-on-11s, the guys that look sharp are the same guys we've been talking about. I hear a lot of people talking about, Woodward? I think it's 89. Let me look at the roster sheet here, guys. Sorry, the roster is very fluid right now. No, I don't even know who it was. I have to look it up and get you on the next video. I'm sorry. I haven't noticed him. The one that I'm excited about, and I've mentioned it before, is Mr. Ed Gant. Tall, very fast, good hands. But the wide receiving stack is going to be very interesting this year. We're going to do another video on the wide receiving stack because, you got a guy like Sammy Strotter who's putting good work here, but he's going to be fighting for a position. Preston Parker's going to be fighting for a position because there are guys that are flat out performing out there in the wide receiver spot. And I did see Mike Williams moved into the slot today, and I'll tell you this, Josh Freeman's continued mastery of the offense is going to allow them to do some really unique things with Mike Williams moving around. I didn't think they were really going to move him around, but they did in practice today. And you looked out and saw Mike Williams in the slot with no one over the top of him, and the route combination had the X going shallow. They called a corner route. Now, Josh didn't go to him, but that pre-snap read, that's wide open, right? I mean, Mike Williams is going to eat up whoever they put over him in that slot, and it's really exciting to see that set up. Now, other things that look good, LeGarrette Blount looked like he was catching the ball a little bit better out of the backfield today from the pictures that Roman took. I didn't get a chance to see him do too much of that, but in drills, because I was over on the defensive line side, in drills it looked like he did. Still, obviously, Luke Stocker wasn't out there, so the tight ends are getting a chance to play some more, and we'll see what the depth looks like there. No dark horses or big pops other than that. In the 11-on-11s, there were some really nice catches in coverage. The defense actually in the secondary looks like it's a little bit behind right now. So tomorrow, I'll be out there for 2 practices. I'll focus on the defensive secondary, I promise, and we'll get you a little bit more of an update. But again, for fans that are local, do try and get out there to those practices. It's a great opportunity. The team has done an amazing job of opening things up. And you look, the websites like Pewter Report, Joe Bucks Fan, and I know on Facebook there's a ton of people that are doing it. Bucks Nation is doing a lot of great work. A lot of great information for Bucks fans out there, as well as on Twitter. Make sure you sub on those guys and keep aware of what's happening on the team, because they are doing some pretty impressive things in practice, and you can see the install rate is continuing to accelerate. Thanks for tuning in. If you have players you want me to pay attention to, let me know. Hit me up on the comments here. Tweet me at @whatthebuck, or send email to questions@whatthebuck.net. I'll try and pay attention to those guys as well. And we'll get back with you next or tomorrow on the video. Thanks.